Fast Signs have been supplying signs to companies and organisations in Leeds and West Yorkshire since 1995. From vehicle graphics, event banners and directional signs to shop fronts, internal wall graphics, they help companies make a statement and stand out. They have a great team who can help with the design, production and installation of your signs. Check them out at fastsigns.com/Leeds or call into their office on York Road on the outskirts of the city centre. And also make sure you mention the Lot Pod. Hi everybody, welcome to the Lot Pod, the Leeds Rhinos Lot 17-8 podcast, kindly sponsored by Fast Signs. Eddie and producer Chris here for a Mailbag podcast this time. Chris, how the devil are you?
Very well. I don't think I've ever been on one of these.
You've never been on a Mailbag?
No.
Ever in your life?
Never.
All these years, 5 years into it, and it's your first.
Yeah.
We're taking your Mailbag. I'm taking your Mailbag V. Wow, that's pretty gross and sexy.
Yeah.
But just before we delve into the Mailbag, we're just going to push our live event. We are joining forces with Bry over at the Amazing Six again, and we're heading back to the Brotherhood Bar in Leeds for a Super League mid-season review special. We're going to be joined by two of the biggest names to ever have played the amazing game of rugby league. Terry O'Connor and Iestyn O'Harris are both joining us to review the Super League season so far. They're going to share their views on the 2025 season and answer some questions from our audience in attendance too. It's on Tuesday, the 1st of July. It's at 7 p.m. The Brotherhood Bar, the best sports bar in town. Tickets are on sale now. If you follow us on Instagram, lot_pod, you'll find all the details there, or you can search Lot Pod into Eventbrite. That's our details there. The tickets are £5 per person.
Bargain.
Absolute bargain. Come on down, have a drink with us, have some really good chat with Terry and Iestyn. I'm going to give you some drinks, some food offers now that Brotherhood have put on for us. 2 cocktails for a tenner.
Wow.
You just can't. You can't get that anywhere.
I was in Leeds yesterday and it was 2 cocktails for £25, so that's...
And we aren't even going to name that bar.
No.
2 cocktails for £10. If you arrive at the live event before 7 p.m, there is a meal deal. Any burger or toasted wrap is £5.
Bargain.
Absolute
Why would you not want to go?
Bargain. And if you add skin on chips, that's an extra £2. So essentially, burger and wrap or a burger and chips for £7. Amazing value. So your tickets are £5. £7 for burger and chips, and what, a £5 for a pint? That's a night out for £17.
And you get to meet us.
You get to meet us, Terry O'Connor, and Iestyn Harris. And bear in mind, how much were tickets to Castaway? It's £27.
£27.
£27. We're offering way more value for £17. So if you do want tickets, they are £5 each. Follow us on Instagram, lot_pod. All the details are there. Or if you search Lot Pod on Eventbrite, that's us there. All the ticket details are there. Bring yourselves down, bring your family down, bring your friends down. Tuesday, the 1st of July at 7 o'clock at the Brotherhood Bar. Right, that's a big enough push for the live event. It's now time to open the Mailbag. We haven't recorded a Mailbag podcast in quite some time. So if you are new to us, welcome. If you have no idea what a Mailbag is, let me tell you. The Mailbag is our Any Other Business podcast where we ask you guys, the listeners, the viewers, to send in your questions and we answer them. Very, very basic premise. This Mailbag in particular is just rugby league themed. We're going to speak about the Ashes, we're going to speak about the NRL and, of course, the Rhinos. So let's dive in with some Ashes-based questions. The first one's from Tom. With England hosting the Ashes in... With England hosting the Ashes in 2025, do you think, Chris, they finally have the squad to realistically challenge Australia? Tom asks. Is that a very simple one-word, 2-letter answer?
No.
Simple
But
as
what I will say is, it's only 17 v 17, isn't it? So anything can happen. I think we'll win the first test.
Because you and Duncan are both adamant, or would I say adamant, or you both said you think it's going to go to the decider at Headingley.
Yeah.
How much did you drink that day, the two of you?
I think we'll win the first test.
You think they win the first, it's going to go to the decider. It would be amazing if we could take it.
Yeah, Headingley will be
to a decider at Headingley.
So yeah, I don't think we're going to beat them. I think they've just taken it up another level. But you never know, do you?
I know.
Do you?
I know.
Is it a hard no?
Yes, a hard no. England aren't going to win. They aren't going to win. It's absolutely not going to win the Ashes. But I don't think they'll win a game.
You don't?
No. I think Australia are that good. To beat Australia, you're probably going to have to score 28 points.
Probably, yeah.
And you're going to keep Australia down.
I think we can.
Below that.
I think we can ambush them in first game.
I hope we do.
I don't know whether they'll be ready.
I'd love nothing more than for England to win a test against them. I think that would be. If England win one test against them, I think that's a miracle.
Yeah.
If it finishes 2-1, I would be over the moon.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it might be closer than. I don't think we'll get a hammer in. But I don't think we can do it.
Let us know in the comments if you agree, along with the mailbag, with anything we're saying. Just comment below on YouTube. Let us know if you agree with what our answers are. Should Sean Waney, it says Sean Waney here, by the way, from Gareth, stay on?
Waney.
Sean Waney, stay on as England coach after the Ashes. I think, does it matter? It'd have to go drastically wrong for him to be relieved of his duties. Would you agree with that? I don't think
but
he's
I
going
think he
anywhere.
might want a club job.
I think he might have a club job before the Ashes.
Maybe. Catalan
or...
I don't think it really matters, does it?
I don't know.
The thing is about international coaching, you're not really coaching in a sense, are you? They're elite players. They should... You know what I mean? It's not like...
It's a purely part-time job,
Yeah,
too.
it's not like a club coach, is it? I think it's probably time for him to go after that.
Yeah.
Win or lose. I mean, how long?
Even if they win?
Yeah, how long's he been doing it?
Did he go in 20...
But saying that, there's a World Cup in the next year.
Yeah.
So he'll probably want to do that. Maybe.
Would it matter if he did get a Super League job? You can do both, can't you?
Yeah, but it's a bit odd, isn't it? I mean, is there not a bit of conflict? There's already a bit of conflict with him working at Wigan anyway.
He's at Wigan anyway.
It's not a full-time job, unfortunately, is it?
No.
So I
reckon he could do both. But I think he will stay on. It'd have to be something catastrophic like England scoring 2 points per game against them.
I'm surprised he didn't get sacked after not getting to the World Cup final when it were easiest route we had.
But he picked the worst. That's the worst England side. But he picked for that World Cup, and I was harking back, I've ever seen. He picked the likes of McIlroy and Chris Hill, and they were all ancient. And you think, what are you doing? Absolutely. Anyway, we digress.
Saying that, he might pick Ryan Hall.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. And Callum Watkins. Which English players do you think could genuinely make the Australia squad if they were eligible?
Squad?
In essence, Liam's asking, do England have a world-class player? The silence.
Squad?
Is deafening.
Not team?
He's asked squad, they've asked squad. We don't have a player to get in there. Who's England's best player? Harry Newman?
I don't think Harry Newman will get picked.
Who's England's best player? Herbie Farnworth.
Herbie Farnworth.
He doesn't get in the Australian centres.
I'm not sure. Near. December.
In the back row.
But other than that, no.
No,
I'm afraid.
I don't think England do. Those are probably the ones.
Like his best players. Jack Wellesby? He's no chance of getting.
No chance. You're not going to get a centre in there. You're not going to get a half in there. Prop?
No.
Hooker? No.
This is a cheery podcast.
This is why we do them annually now. Just one a year. We're better at Rhino stuff than we are. England just take it or
positive with Rhino.
Take it or leave it. Next question is from Ben Warrington, who asks, do you think Australia will take the Ashes seriously, or is it more important to England than them? Well, it's certainly more important to England.
I think they do take it seriously. I
agree with
think
that.
it's a myth.
Yeah.
I think anybody playing for the country
It's a
will
big
take
deal.
it serious. I mean, they've walloped everyone, haven't they? Well, I know they lost to Tonga, didn't they?
Tonga and
New Zealand. But to say they don't take it serious, I think that's nonsense.
No, they definitely do.
I think, once they get over here, they'll want to whack us, won't they?
Yeah, they'll want to whack us or England as much as England.
Yeah, definitely.
But, it's not just
I think
like...
that's why rivalry is so good and why it's being missed.
And I do think, like, people hark back to, like, Willie Mason and JP and all the other classic England, Australia, England, Great Britain kind of bust-ups. I think, when was the last time we played Australia for a start?
World's
years ago.
Cup final.
20...
17, wasn't it?
Which one is? Yeah. Years and years.
Yeah.
Way too long.
And we owe them one for that.
And we owe one for that. And I think the time, the blood, the thirst for blood, the anticipation, it's all building up. I think it's going to be... and Sean Wayne...
Oh, he'll get them fired up.
He
is the right coach for this series.
He's going to have them absolutely pumped full of adrenaline.
It'll only get you so far, though, won't it?
It will, yeah. But in terms of physicality, I think we're in for an absolute barnstorm.
Yeah.
There's going to be some big hits. There's definitely going to be some red cards.
I think they'll be lenient.
I think they'll let a lot go.
Yeah.
Which
I think they did yesterday in Challenge Cup final, to be honest. Which is where it probably should be.
When it gets to playoff.
You don't want somebody getting sent off for an accidental eye shot.
I think someone will be sent off.
I hope there's a scrap or two.
There definitely will be. First game from kick-off.
But like going back to the question, when you listen to Willie Mason and that,
yeah,
they all say it's pinnacle of their career, isn't it? And they're always up for it.
Yeah, they love it.
So they're not going to be here for a holiday. They might be afterwards, but
yeah, but they'll come.
I think they've got a job to do, haven't they? And I think they'll be fired up.
They'll definitely be fired up, Ben. Make no mistake about them. But I do think it's more important to England, just because
it's more important to win it.
I think it's more important
if that's the way that you're talking. Yeah,
definitely. But I think beating Australia is important to every other nation to try and get one over. As it is in any sport, you want to beat the bigger, better team, man, woman. You want to get one over the best.
And I think that's shown with the ticket sales, hasn't it?
Massively.
You won't get sellouts in Australia.
No.
And hopefully, we can get a big crowd at Wembley. But
I think if we get 70,000 at Wembley, that's a
I
success.
think it's doable because they've not. Apparently, because the other two sold out so quick, they've got the marketing budget from them two
to chuck at Wembley.
Yeah, and they haven't started doing it yet. I know they started doing some stuff yesterday. I think December we're doing some promos
at the Challenge Cup.
Yeah, Wembley with his England shirt. So I think once they start pushing it, I think we'll get 70,000.
I think if we get 70,000, that's a massive, massive success for Wembley. And then the last one on the Ashes from Emily Lunn. And Emily asked, is it time England started selecting more players from the NRL to strengthen the national side? Was Jackson Hastings in the British side?
Is that what she means? Because
I think so.
Pretty much any English player that plays in NRL ends up playing. Yeah.
Anyway, I think how I read it is like Jackson Hastings and Blake Austin on the wing. I know, is it AJ Brimson's put his hand up to say... AJ said he's English. Do you think we should be nicking a few Aussies or Kiwis?
I'm a bit conflicted on this because part of me thinks, well, it's just the modern world, isn't it? And
Australia do it.
Yeah.
And that's what they've done for many, many years.
All other sports do it. England Rugby Union do it.
Yeah.
And if it's within rules, then and they're better than who we've got here, pick them. I mean, look at Victor Radley.
Of course, yeah.
The
biggest one I've missed.
He looks the most passionate Englishman out there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Even though he
was an Aussie.
But his roots are from Sheffield, so why not?
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
If it makes us stronger and gives us
if they're eligible, then
pick them.
Yeah.
I'd actually be flying over there to talk to players.
Have you got an Irish?
Who are either?
No, sorry,
Irish.
Irish. Don't know where I'm getting Irish from.
Have a strong Irish side as well.
Yeah. Have you got an English grandparent or something?
Oh, I'd be.
Have you ever drunk a pint of bitter?
Yeah, if I was Sean Wayne. Right there, you've had a custard cream, haven't you? Yeah. Keelan Ponga, you've had a custard cream before.
Yeah.
You've drunk Yorkshire tea. I'd do anything. Because the Australians are doing it. And you look at the Aussie side now, players like Payne Haas are like, well, I think I'm if I'm paying Haas, he's thinking of switching to Samoa. Ponga's thinking of switching to New Zealand because they've got that heritage.
Yeah, and then, even though they weren't born there, they've got the heritage, and it means more to them. Well, you've seen like when Samoans and
look
Tongans,
at the Samoa side. If the Samoa side could have the players eligible, they'd be the ones who would have the biggest pack, the biggest mentality and physicality to beat the Aussies, more so than New Zealand.
So yeah, I'd say bring it on if
absolutely
if somebody wants to declare himself for England.
They've got some passports. Sean Wayne. On to some NRL-based questions. Jake asks, what have you made of the NRL expanding once more? The Perth Bears have been confirmed. There's also rumours of a potential Papua New Guinea side coming soon. So, in terms of that expansion, well, we're happy because Mal Meninga got announced as the Perth Bears coach. But in terms of that, and then expanding more, does it just push us even further away? Or
with Perth, I've got a lot of family there. My wife's from Perth. Her dad was one of the founding members of Western Reds.
Really?
So he's not too keen on it being what is North Sydney Bears merging, but he thinks that they'll go really well and they'll get big crowds.
I think they will.
Because when they take State of Origin there, sells out, doesn't
massive.
It? They've got some nice stadiums over there. I think it's great. Be interesting to see how they go. Is Mal Meninga the right coach?
No.
He's the right name. That's what he is.
It's definitely the right name.
That's what they need, isn't it? They want into.
They need something attractive.
Yeah.
Someone's going to want to play for.
And they'll do it right, won't they? They'll give them. They're not going to kick them out if they're crap.
And the first signing will be. The first name announced will be massive.
Yeah, they'll be
and I'm
huge.
talking Payne Haas, massive. I'm talking they'll have a huge name to say.
Yeah, definitely.
Here's Perth Bears, backed by the NRL.
Yeah.
Here's Payne Haas. Here's Ponga, or whoever it may be. It'll be a huge name to start them off, and then having Meninga and whoever the star player is, it just all falls into line.
A PNG side would be brilliant if they can get there.
That's
look
got to
what it's done
happen.
with New Zealand and that. So. It's amazing, and the NRL do it right, but they've got the money, haven't they?
They've got the money, they've got the structure, and people say, "Oh, well, people won't want to go out and live in PNG," but as soon as they build it and make it, you'd be astounded.
Well, they might not even be based in PNG, might they? I don't know. They might base them in Australia. I don't know. And they play some games in PNG. I don't know.
And do a bit of both.
Yeah.
No, but it's amazing, and we're all just jealous. George asks, who do you think could be the next English player to play in Australia? Probably.
Well, it's Morgan Gannon, isn't it?
Yeah, that one. Probably be someone Brad Arthur takes home, right?
I think so, yeah. I think he'll take a few.
Harry Newman, or...
I wouldn't be surprised if Harry Newman went.
He's of a perfect age.
I'm surprised Jack Wellesby's not gone before now.
Yeah,
but
not good enough.
Which shitstorm that Saints are in, he might.
He might now.
I think Michael Lewis will go. I'm not sure whether his
job's complete now, mission complete now. They've won the cup.
Yeah, and I think George Williams will go back.
I think that could be.
But I think
good shout.
We'll see more and more, especially if they bring more teams in.
Yeah,
which isn't good for Super League, is it? But I mean, why wouldn't you go?
No, precisely. More money, more coverage.
Yeah,
more marketable.
And it, like we just discussed earlier, it probably is shoe in for an England spot.
Without a doubt. As soon as you're out there,
yeah,
you could be a half well-known prospect in Super League. The second you go out there,
well, it's like Morgan Gannon. He'll be in
the England
Cup
side,
spot,
just due to him playing for the Warriors out there. But if I had to hedge my bets, I would probably say George Williams would go back. I think he would be the most.
What's December? What's his deal?
He's locked in, and I think he's got.
He is, but that means
just means to get a.
He should go over there.
A big fee for him. Yeah, again, that's another good shout. Josh in Belial asks, is the gap between the NRL and Super League getting bigger? Yeah.
Easiest question you're going to ask tonight.
It's absolutely astronomical, and it grows monthly, weekly.
I think what some people might not get if you've not been in around Sydney or Brisbane or whatever, is just how big it is.
Yeah.
It's like Premier League over here. So they've got a pick of the young sportsmen, haven't they? And women. they're getting more and more money. It's just going to get.
It's expanding.
It's going to get bigger and bigger. So I don't think there's anything you can do neither. So I don't think Super League needs to beat itself up about it.
We need to try and join them.
It doesn't. Super League does not have the same. It got a lot more barriers than NRL has, because everyone wants to play football here, or we ain't got the money. It's not going to change overnight, so I wouldn't stress over it. But just watch NRL,
just watch
and enjoy
it, and pray that they end up taking us over and grab us by the scruff of our neck and pull us up to a better, more competitive.
Well, you look at the league table now. It's like split between. There's 3 league tables, isn't there?
Yeah.
And even Wigan, and I know they won the World Club Challenge, but that's a one-off. Wigan and OKR have been bottom half at NRL.
Without a doubt, bottom 2.
Yeah,
without a doubt, 100%. Callum R asks, would a World Club Challenge tournament work as a short form competition during pre-season? I'd love to see this.
Yes.
I don't want to see it in Australia, and I don't want to see it in England. I think this is something Vegas-y.
Yeah.
Road trippy.
It would
take
work.
It on the road as a road show.
It would work. The biggest barrier is with Super League, we play too many games. So how are you going to fit it in? But
if it's pre-season,
100% they should do it. Just you can start small, can't you? You could
of course
have,
you can.
I don't know, 3 teams from each league, the top 3.
Or if it's like the Vegas thing, you could have 2 NRL sides playing each other, and then the World Club Challenge to start off. Super League winners, Grand Final winners as the main event of that 3, similar to Vegas. I agree. It should definitely come back. It would definitely work as a short form comp during pre-season, but I think it should be something they take on the road.
Yeah, it didn't work before because they went too big too quick, didn't they?
Yeah,
and the British teams didn't have a chance.
No,
but I think if you make it shorter, like 3, like as we say, 3 teams from each league, I think it'd be really attractive.
And if you put it somewhere that is attractive, whether it's in Europe or America, and if the NRL run it like they are with Vegas, it'll have a chance. And if, like you say, if they just slowly snowball it, so it's like one game, then we'll say, right, next year.
It's just whether they want. I mean, they never want to do actual World Club Challenge, do they?
No,
Just
and perhaps they could even do something similar to football in that, if with the Challenge Cup, so say the Grand Final winners get their spot, but then the Cup winners, should they be different?
Well, if
they
it's
get
not
a spot too.
If that's same,
the runner-up gets a, or you could say those 4 they're the 4, then the 4 NRL sides at the top,
be great, wouldn't it?
And it'd be brilliant. But it's just got to be so. The issue is, it's got to. With everything in rugby league, we do something great, but we do it once or twice, and then we just go, forget that. It's like, no. If you continue to do it,
short-termism in rugby league's terrible. Well, in this country, and the club owners having all the say.
Yeah, it's a massive issue. Massive issue. Should Danielle and Adam, husband and wife, ask, should more international fixtures be mandatory during the season, or does that just mess with the club's schedules too much? You just said like Super League play too many games.
There should be at least 2 internationals during season.
Stripped back some Super League games.
Yeah,
and add international.
I don't know how they'd strip it back, because I think Super League should go to 14 teams, so that's home and away, isn't it? Because I'm talking about a different thing here, but the schedule in Super League this year is... I've never seen it like it.
How many times do we play Saints away?
Yeah, well, twice in it, but is it? Oh, no. No, we don't.
We had a big cup, didn't we?
Yeah, but back end of season, we've got Wigan at home, another team, then Wigan away. But, yeah, there should be 2 mid-season internationals, and I think we should be playing France, even though we wallop them.
You don't think that should go ahead?
You look at Six Nations Rugby Union, Italy were put in, and they got walloped year after year after year. But they stuck with it, didn't they? And now they're doing better, aren't they?
Yeah.
But it's taken a long time.
To get
I don't
to
know. I think we should be playing France, in France. I don't think it should be here. I don't think it should be at Leeds Sports Village with 6,000 people watching.
And no TV coverage.
And no TV coverage. It should be in France.
Playing France in France.
There should be at least one of them games.
I think the issue is, particularly for England, it would be who they play, because you could play France every year, but to get the Aussies, Tonga,
you're not going to get
the
them.
Kiwis,
You're not going to get them.
They aren't going to bother, are they, coming over? So it'd have to be France mid-season, or the Combined Nations All-Stars.
I don't actually mind that, personally. But,
one or the other.
Well, it could be both, couldn't it? You could play France and then you play them.
France as a warm-up and then the All-Stars as a...
Because you can't just have 3 games at the end of the year. That's not how you build a brand, is it?
My only concern with the All-Stars is I'd be, from a personal point of view and a very selfish point of view as a Rhinos fan, like I know Jake Connor played in one of those games previously. If he blows his knee...
Yeah, but you can say that with anything, can't you?
That's true. But I'd just as a pure selfish point of view,
Would you
I'd be gutted.
You could say the same when we're playing Salford this year.
That's true.
It's a pointless game.
And I could say the same about Alensky when he's playing for England.
Yeah.
Again, I'd be gutted.
I don't think Super League should break.
I agree. Just play on.
Just play on.
It gives the academy guys...
Let the England... I know that hampers, say, like a Wigan more than Castleford. But then it's not a bad thing, really, is it?
No.
So I don't think Super League doesn't have to stop.
Should continue.
Yeah.
Without them.
A bit like State of Origin. I mean, they back up, don't they? But I don't think they need to be doing that, but I don't think it needs to stop.
Rugby Union play ahead, don't they, with Six Nations?
Yeah.
Their league continues, and the Six Nation lads just fly off and...
There's no reason for it to stop.
No, I agree.
I know they're stopping football, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they do. On to some Leeds Rhinos questions.
Ooh.
This one's from Chloe in Moortown. Hi there, lot podders. What? We've never been called lot podders.
I don't know about like it.
Usually a lot pod squad in it.
Yeah, but is she talking to us or the audience?
To everyone. We're all lot podders. Hi there, lot podders. What would success look like for Brad Arthur this season? Is it all about making the playoffs, winning a trophy, or is it more about the long-term culture change? So first of all, I guess the question is, what would success look like for Brad Arthur this season? The first part of that question.
Getting us into playoffs and giving a good stab of it.
I think it's literally down to getting us into the playoffs. We've not been there.
Getting us into playoffs in a good position. So say if we can stay third. I think that that's more than you can ask.
That's a massive, massive tick. It is all about making the playoffs.
Oh, 100%.
Winning a trophy.
Well, I mean,
if we don't win a trophy,
I wouldn't write us off in playoffs.
No, we're going to win it. I can show you.
But I think just because it last couple of years, just getting into it, I've forgotten what it's like going to a playoff game.
I know, it's horrendous. It's awful to say that as Leeds fans, that we've forgotten the taste of delicious playoff rugby league.
But then you look at Saints, they're going through that now, so we can just laugh at them.
We can laugh at them instead. Or is it more about the long-term culture change?
It's both, isn't it? But I think he's done that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of, particularly how mentally fragile
I think he's done
our squad were. I do think we're on a much better position.
And it was interesting, Ian Blease in YEP, I think this week, was saying we're not really going to be signing many players. And I liked that.
Keep what we got.
It's like, we're going to have to start paying younger ones more this next year.
Yeah.
Because they won't be off cap. Yeah, I'm all for that. Continuity is huge. You don't want to be changing your players every year, do you?
No.
And if you've
Can't keep chopping changing.
If you've got a happy group, then
stick with them.
Yeah.
And give them a chance. Ginny also asked something along a similar line. Are you confident we can continue to progress post Brad Arthur? And who would you like to see succeed him? So again, 2 parts to this question. Are you confident we can continue to progress post Brad Arthur? So once he's left, I pray to God we do manage to progress.
Yes,
when
but
BA has
with that,
left.
and this might be a bit controversial, I would probably like to see Jamie Langley get it.
Just to keep some
Yeah.
continue.
What you don't want
work.
is all that work that Brad's instilled and then somebody coming in and ripping up the manual again. I mean, who's available?
Justin Holbrook.
I wouldn't mind Justin Holbrook. I think he's a great coach. But his style's totally different, isn't he? But I don't know. I'd like to say, I think it's not always the big names, is it, that go well? And maybe Jamie Langley with some extra support as a, assistant coach or whatever. Maybe that'll work.
On Jamie Langley, I'd much rather prefer Jamie Langley get a shot after Brad Arthur than Steve McNamara come in.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
And the only reason I say that is the point that you made a couple of pods ago where Steve McNamara would come in and if we were to lose or make a bad start...
Oh, they'd be on his back.
Yeah, he's got a lot of pressure on him instantly. He might come in, he might win, he might be all roses and dandelions and everything's brilliant. But the second it doesn't, it would be such a fragile relationship from the get go.
Yeah,
I just think, and I wouldn't think it's fair on McNamara either.
No.
From his point of view,
you wouldn't want to do it, would you?
No, and I think most would be just waiting from either side. Some will be fluttering at the teeth saying, we shouldn't have this guy, and then it goes wrong. Others will be like cringing as if to say, oh, when it does go wrong, it's gonna get in turmoil
I
quick.
think the Jamie Langley thing reminds me a bit of Brian McDermott.
Potentially, yeah.
When he signed everyone like...
So you're telling me there's a treble?
Yeah. But yeah, so I think the continuity... I'd be fine with Langley getting it. Personally.
I agree. I would nod and say that's
the players
fine.
speak very highly of him as well.
Give him a go.
And Brad Arthur said that the defence is down to him. So...
Next question's from Vicky. When Arthur steps down from the Rhinos at the end of the season, who would you want to take the position of head coach at Leeds? And then she says, P.S. I pray every night to a God I don't believe in, begging BA to sign a new deal with Leeds. I think you should stop praying to a God you don't believe in. If that's the case, then just stop praying.
The thing is, he's going to go at some point, right? So if it's this year, isn't it?
Yeah, which it will be.
I think he'll go this year.
It's as good as gone, yeah.
So I think just enjoy what is instilled into the team, and I don't think they'll forget that very easily. I think he said it himself. He says they don't need me now.
No.
They've got it in them. So I think we just need to get his head around the fact that he's gonna go home.
But what'll make it easier is when we do lift the Super League trophy at Old Trafford later in the year, that's really softens the blow because then we just shake hands with BA and say, you've been amazing.
Yeah.
You have completely transformed this club. We're now the champions, and he can just chuck his sheriff badge on the table and walk off into the distance cat and say, I've done it. There you go. I've completely dragged you back up to where you need to be. And then whoever steps in off the back of that.
I think it'll be a difficult decision for him as well because he seems to love it.
Yeah.
So jobs like that don't come around very often, do they?
And I think I can only assume because it really was a month ago, 5 weeks ago, the absolute number one front runner for the Bears gig. All the Aussie press were saying
he was the
Brad
right
Arthur.
coach for the Bears,
it's Brad
just
Arthur.
the wrong
it's
name.
Brad Arthur. Then all of a sudden Burgess came out of nowhere. Then Meninga gets it, which obviously we're happy
It'll
for.
be interesting, but is it Titans that are not going very well? Is it Asler?
Titans. One of his sons plays for Newcastle.
Right.
He's always going to be linked with these jobs. Which is just something.
Get his sons over.
We just have to. I'd just sign them, yeah. Or one of them, or both of them, if it makes him stick around for slightly longer. Who would I like to see succeed him? I don't know.
I'd be happy with Justin Holbrook if you were looking from NRL.
I'd be over the moon with Justin Holbrook.
But like I said previously, I'd be more
But
than happy
if
with
it was Jamie
Langley.
Langley, I'd be happy with that.
And people might be like, oh, well, he's not a big name, but
It may continue.
Doesn't always work. Look
That's
at Matty Pete.
Yeah.
Like I said before, Brian McDermott. You don't have to get a big name for him to be successful.
Yeah. Harry Owen says, lot pod meet up on the Vegas Strip. Let's do a chicken wing challenge. Who can eat the most? I hate chicken wings.
I love them.
So
Is that like a spicy challenge, or is it just...
I think it's more like a who can eat the most chicken wings.
Well, I don't eat much.
That seems like more American, doesn't it, in that?
Yeah.
Let's see if you can eat a bucket of
I won't be able to eat a bucket of
chicken wings. Bucket of chicken wings on the Vegas Strip. I'm not going, but Chris definitely is. And you can have some chicken wings with him, Harry Owen.
It won't be much of a challenge, though.
Who can you see leaving the Rhinos at the end of the season? Asks Leo.
Morgan Gannon. What?
Morgan Gannon. Matt Frawley.
Matt Frawley will be gone. I wouldn't be surprised if Matt went mid-season. I wouldn't be surprised to see him run out for Salford.
Yeah, go turn for Salford or Huddersfield again.
And I don't think there'll be that many.
Who else is off contract?
Sam Lasone.
Lasone, Frawley. There's another. Oh no, we signed Holroyd, Bentley.
Yeah.
McDonnell. They're all done, aren't they then? Hall, they're all done.
Yeah, they're done.
Watkins. You get Cal back.
He's pretty much said that
that's
it's
announced,
a done
isn't it?
deal.
Yeah, that's done.
Well, he said that.
Who can you see
They're
leaving?
just working through it.
Yeah.
So he'll get signed, won't he?
Cal's in. Who can you see
the only
leaving?
two is Lasone and Frawley, but I think Lasone might...
Lasone will probably get a new deal.
Well, I think we've discussed it before, isn't it? It's all right saying, well, get rid of him, but then who do you replace him with?
You're looking for a Sam Lasone. And in his current form...
Yeah?
He's going nowhere. Frawley will leave. We'll probably sign... Or ECW.
Oh, yeah, I think...
He'll go.
I can't imagine him hanging around. I don't know.
So we'll have 2 quarter spots, but who comes in? A hooker?
Depends how Ackers goes, doesn't it?
Depends how Ackers got Jared there.
I don't want to see many incomings, personally.
No, just to keep as it is. It would be handy to...
Maybe a second rower to replace Gannon.
Yeah.
From NRL.
To get Reece Martin back. That's what I'd like to do. I don't know. I think it's strange, Leo, because we're in a position where...
You don't want the big turnover players.
I do. And we've never been... On this podcast, we've always been like, oh my God, we need a prop, we need another prop, we need an half-back, we need a full-back.
But that's been half his problem, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Chopping and changing and everything. So I don't want to see many leave. I don't want to see many come in.
No, and I think that'll ring true. I don't think many will.
Yeah, I don't. Well, he said Ian Blease.
There's usually one surprise.
Then, we've got some really good youth coming through.
Yeah, we have. Need to reward the players that are starting to come through. Jack, Tom Nicholson-Watton,
Ben Little,
Riley Lum.
Going to be a good player. There's McCormack
brothers, who are going to be amazing, particularly Fergus.
Yeah,
he's going to.
I mean, he's still
light
really
up
young,
this league.
But
as soon as he gets that 6 shirt,
a lot of those players won't be off the cap next year, so that we're not going to get many players in.
No, I can live with that. Could you give us? This is from David McDermott. Could you give us a brief history of the pod? How and why you started it? Did you have any goals or expectations? How and why you started it? Well, we started it because there's just a massive gap in the market.
Did you start it during COVID?
Was it August 2020, the first one? It's just me talking to myself.
You started the Twitter account.
The Twitter. It was in it. Lot 17A Twitter account started in 2018.
Surprised nobody's asked why that thing.
It's called Lot 17A because Lot 17A was the auction lot for the plot of land in 1888 that became Headingley Stadium. That's why it's Lot 17A. And then when I was thinking of a podcast, I thought Lot Pod. That kind of rings true. How did I start it? I started it in my pants. It's very famous. Not very famous, but quite famous. Started it in my pants with a headset.
Did you do it on your own?
On my own.
How did you do that? What did you talk?
Talking to myself with a headset plugged into my phone. And the reason I started it is because there's massive gaps. When you
Have you got the original one?
it's on Spotify. Because Duncan says if you have it on autoplay or something on your Spotify settings, the latest podcast, it goes right back to the start. So it's always like it goes back to the... It's awful and he's removing. Why I started it, because we had the Loiners View podcast from Laurie, and that was there. Because initially, football's got everything. Loads and loads. Other sports have loads and loads of fan-driven content, YouTube channels, podcasts, you name it. And then Laurie launched with his friends Loiners View, and I thought, right, here it is. We've got the fan content. We've got the fans say for the Rhinos, and then I can't remember why Laurie said it may remind us. That fell away, then there were nothing. I'm like, no, we need something. And I kept saying to my wife, there's a massive gap in the market. Nothing's out there, and there should be a podcast. And then my wife said, don't mention it ever again. Because you keep saying it.
Just do it.
Just do it. And I'm like, right, I'm going to do it. So I just spoke to myself, kind of reacted to some news, clipped it together and spewed it out, and then I just ran away. Just spewed it out, put it on Spotify, advertised it onto it, and then I just ran away. And I was petrified. I thought, oh my God, can't believe I've done that. And then 178 people listened to it.
Did they?
In the first 24 hours, and I was like, wow, there's obviously a market for this. And then it snowballed. Goals, expectations, none.
We did... When we decided to step it up a bit and do video, we did have goals to get subscribers. That's why we keep banging on about it, but they're not hard and fast. They don't really...
No.
They're just... We might have a meeting at the beginning of the year and say what we're going to do this year.
That tends to be it.
Yeah.
We have a few, like, for instance, we mentioned we want to get to 1,000 subscribers. We wanted to build more of a relationship with the club, which has happened. We wanted to release the fanzine. We've done four,
I think.
Fanzines. Wanted to do a live show.
Yeah.
We've done the live show. We wanted to knock the StreamYard on the head, being recording podcasts remotely from laptops and in people's kitchens. Wanted to knock that on the head. Wanted to get a studio. We're in the studio now. Wanted to upgrade the mic equipment.
It's just an ongoing thing, isn't it?
Just
because
a constant...
we ain't got pots and pots of money. And
no, we don't make any money from this. The money we get from Fast Signs, we just pump into...
Well, that's how I got
studio.
involved originally, wasn't it? I was a sponsor.
Oh yeah, you came along. How I met Chris was, he messaged me, but his picture on, was it Twitter, Instagram? On Twitter
at times,
was this.
Wilfred.
Hang on. This was Chris. For those people watching on YouTube, this was Chris. This is Chris's cat Wilfred in a Leeds shirt, and this was Chris's avatar. And he just messaged the Lot Pod saying, "I like your podcast. I'd like to come on it, and I'd like to sponsor you." And then that came from there. And then my wife were like, "Why is a bloke with a cat? Why is a cat talking to you with 18 followers?"
These were when it was COVID, and you could send a picture of yourself and get yourself on stands.
I remember.
Yeah, and
you sent a picture of the cat and it got in. And then it just snowballed from there. So we didn't know anyone. I didn't know Reese from Adam. I didn't know you, Duncan, Laurie, Sam.
Yeah, and I think when I got
Phil.
involved, because I've got a bit of a background in music production and obviously branding, and that's what I do for a job.
Yeah.
It was like, we can really step this up a bit. And I think we have. But that's why I think Club have noticed. But there's got to be a progression. Starting it out in your bedroom is great, isn't it? But
Yeah.
to make it more engaging and just a bit more professional,
Yeah.
I think we just always need to keep moving it on. And we're hopefully going to be doing that with some new equipment soon, and just trying to make it more polished, really.
More polished, just keep trying to. But in terms of expectations, Dave, we just keep. It's a live thing, ongoing thing.
That was the reason for stopping doing it on StreamYard and remotely, is that we felt it wasn't engaging enough.
No, it looked crap. It sounded
And we
crap.
didn't enjoy doing it as much, did we?
We didn't enjoy doing it. The one thing that we do miss, though, from doing it live on YouTube is the engagement.
Yeah.
We missed that massively. But
Who's to say that we won't look at... I mean, this new software we've got here, you can stream direct to YouTube. So it might be that
we could go live
we
again.
could go live, but it's just from a studio setting, which... yeah, the engagement on YouTube was good, but we're getting more viewers now, so it's... I think, having spoken to people that watch it, they've got set days that they sit and watch it, and
yeah,
I think Monday nights is
big for us. Monday nights is big for us on YouTube,
and it's
Monday morning is big for us on audio.
Yeah, and it's interesting that people watch it on YouTube on the TV. We found that weird, didn't we?
We've got that on the YouTube data. We watched more on television.
Yeah,
can you imagine the size of my head if someone's
big
got
TVs these days,
85-inch telly? Look at the size of that.
But yeah, we found that quite interesting. You think people are watching
phones,
on
tablets, predominantly tellers.
Which is why I think making the production a bit better is a good thing.
Yeah. And now we're here. We just have to keep improving on this studio. And David also asks, what would your Vunu, or is it Vuno?
I saw this
style.
When you sent the question through. I'm like, I don't even know what that is.
Is it the online fantasy card?
Yeah, I don't understand
like
any
Ultimate
of
Team.
You're probably
type
asking
thing.
wrong people here.
What would your, I'm going to say Vunu, probably pronouncing that wrong, style, best and worst Super League era Rhinos side be? So it's essentially 2 backs, 2 forwards and 1 half. So it's a 5-a-side, but your best 5-a-side.
2 backs.
So who are your 2 backs from Super League era Rhinos?
What have we got? 2 backs,
2 backs, 2 forwards and 1 half. So you're going to want a full back and a winger.
Yestin Harris.
Winger, Hawley.
Rhino.
I'd agree with those.
Forwards.
2 forwards, they're easy. Barry and JP. JP and Kylie. You're not choosing anyone else.
Are you classing Kev Sinfield as a forward? It's 30.
No, you can't. I don't think you can pop Kevin there.
Barry McDermott and JP.
Barry and JP. I'll say JP and Kylie.
Barry won't like that.
And then there's 1 half. There is only 1 half, and that's very easy.
Well, you're going to say Danny Maguire.
I'll have Danny, you have Rob.
What about Kev?
Put Kev in at sub. I'll put Kev at 13 then. That's easy.
I would still probably go Danny Maguire over Rob, I think, but...
I'll have Rob, you have Danny.
And Kev, just overall captain.
Kev came with the coach. Worst. Fullback. Jordan Tanzi. Did he play fullback?
Yeah.
Did he? He played fullback, didn't he, for us?
Yeah. Carl Pratt.
Yeah. Tanzi and Pratt, that's the 2 backs.
No, what was it? There was a guy...
Oh, no. I think he were worse, wasn't he?
Didn't we have a guy that came over from Australia and...
What was his name, Griffin? No, Vickery. Joe Vickery. He were bad. Winger, wasn't he? He were a winger. 2 forwards. Zane Tetavano. Easy.
Yeah.
And another forward. Another bad forward, Super League era. Keith Galloway.
No, he were good.
I think so.
What was the really expensive prop we got from Australia really early on?
Glanville.
And he were finished. Really big name.
No, Mark Glanville were alright, wasn't he?
No, he were a good player.
I know what you mean. Gary mentioned him, didn't he? Clyde.
Bradley Clyde. Just for how he played for us.
Yeah. Good player as well.
He was short though, wasn't he?
He was just done by the time he came to Leeds. Yeah. Half-back.
Not had that many, have we?
Hayden Caesar.
Worse than Matt Frawley? I don't think Matt Frawley's been that bad.
I'd say Caesar were worse than Frawley. There's loads we're missing. Comment below, because there's loads we're missing here.
Yeah,
the comments should be lighting up saying, how have you forgotten? It's one of those things that when you put on the spot. Bad halfback. Ben Walker.
He were alright. Did he only play 1 season?
Were even a season.
He played one season.
Bo Falloon's got to be in forwards.
Got to be.
Hooker.
Got
He
to
were
be.
horrendous. Hear about Bo Falloon's got to be one at forwards. We signed him when I think he was 24 from Gold Coast.
He
played for us,
wasn't
7 games for us, and then he never played again.
He was terrible.
He
wasn't
never even played in Australia again. Bo Falloon's definitely one at forwards.
That was a shocker. That 100%.
100%. Halfback.
I'll go along with your Caesar just because he was disappointing, but he's showing that he's a good player. And he did play it well in certain games. But
Carlin away.
For the course of his...
And in the playoffs in 22, because he got concussed at Wigan, didn't he? He played well in those games. People are commenting right now, watching this, saying, how have you forgotten?
It's a long... what is it, 30 years we're talking? 40 years? 30 years?
30 years.
There'll be some in first Super League season.
Jordan Lilly? Was he really a first choice halfback though? Is that harsh?
It's really hard, this.
Ben Walker.
We'll go with Ben Walker.
Let's go with Ben Walker.
Aidan Caesar.
And Aidan Caesar. Right, that's brilliant. That's the end of the mailbag.
I'm going to be thinking about this all night.
We'll text each other tonight going, we've forgotten. But comment below with everything that you've watched tonight, all the questions. Please do comment below on YouTube with your answers to all these questions. Thank you for watching. If you are watching on YouTube, please do subscribe. Thank you for listening. Again, if you are listening on Spotify or iTunes, please do leave us a review, leave us a rating, a 5-star rating. 5-star rating, sorry, it just boosts us up those podcast charts more than you can know. And we'll be back with our usual selves and our usual regulars for the match review panel of Leeds versus Warrington. We'll see you then. Take care.